Welcome back. Better Than Let's Play episode 14. I'm Igneous, and today we're flipping the switch on our nuclear reactor. Last episode we built the area where we're going to put the reactor, and then I gathered all of the components that I needed to make the reactor, and all of the things that go in the reactor, and now we're going to finish putting it all together. We're going to flip the switch, and we're going to see if it was worth all the trouble. I have to say, the biggest thing holding me back was copper, and the lengths to which I was willing to go to find enough copper for all of the different heat exchangers and heat sinks and heat things and component stuff, and it was a lot. It was a lot of copper. I actually found myself mining in the nether, hoping to give myself a little bit of an edge. Didn't work out so well. I actually spent more time adding the corner details to the tower that you see here than I did mining for copper, because that was actually a little side goal that I had, as I wanted to see how that would look. Regardless, in the overworld where things matter, well, we pretend things matter, you can see I've got, these are two MFSUs, and you can barely see the white and the green in behind the iron bars there, and then sticking up is the glass fiber cable. These MFSUs, they don't have a purpose right now. They're just going to store energy, and if I find myself wanting or needing to route power elsewhere in the facility, I can do that. They're outside so that I can continue with the trend of running, reasonably symmetrical cables on the exterior for various different things. So if I wanted to run power to either of the smaller towers, I can do that, but it's not a high priority thing. It's not like the kind of thing that I put there and said, these are here for a very specific and very important purpose. No, it was just, I decided arbitrarily to make 4 MFSUs, and this is where I'm putting 2 of them. Now you can see we come down through the rubber forest, or over it, as the case may be, and into what will eventually someday possibly maybe be the main room of the facility. You can see our ME terminal and our ME box that holds stuff. We have the other 2 MFSUs, this guy and this guy. Neither one of them are even actually hooked up right now, which is kind of neat. Also, one of them is the one that I'm looking at now is the only one with a designated purpose. This is the one that's going to be connected to the ME network, supplying it with EU so that it can run and, store and retrieve our items someday. This one is another backup, so I can use it maybe potentially to someday possibly fully charge my modular power suit. I doubt it, but it'll be there. And also, again, if we should happen to get lazy running the reactor, we can just run a cable across and use this as backup power to keep the ME system going. So that's the extent of what we had to do to get that sort of squared away. And then down here you can see I finished the reinforced area for the whole nuclear setup. You can see the glass fiber cable going up into the ceiling. That's where it's coming outside, and then these ones I haven't even hooked up to the MFSUs up there yet, but I've got plenty of materials to make cable. I'm not worried about that. What I want to do is get this dagnab nuclear reactor up and running. So this reinforced glass now, it actually goes all the way around. Like, I didn't skimp at all. I forget the exact count, but it was something in the neighborhood of 20 stacks of reinforced glass to make this happen. Which was a lot of babysitting a compressor making advanced alloy, I have to say. So what we ended up with is, and unfortunately it's a little bit difficult to see now, this is the nuclear reactor setup. We've got 6 of these, which are the reactor chambers, and in the middle, that you can't see because it's completely surrounded by reactor chambers, is the actual nuclear reactor block itself. Now I've already started setting up this pattern because it's just a big stinky pain in the ass. With all the different components, we've got the heat vents and the coolant cells and the quad uranium cells. That's our fuel. And we just need to finish putting all these guys in here, I think. And if we do it right, and we put a switch on this guy, when we flip that switch, it should, in theory, allow us to generate EU from our nuclear reactor. Hey, do you get the impression that I don't really know what I'm doing here? That's good, because I don't. This is one of those things where you've got so many different components And you can get an idea of what they do just from understanding that nuclear reactors are generating heat energy and then transferring that energy to things like water that makes steam that we can put into turbines to make power. That's not too complicated. So we understand that we're moving heat around in a way that hopefully we'll be able to harness it and turn it into energy without outstripping our ability to contain it and causing a meltdown. That's the idea. But in terms of specifically what any of these things do, if you haven't got a wiki, you haven't got a chance. It's just the way it is. So I started looking through the wiki and reading about these things, and I found myself kind of feeling a little bit disinterested in all the specifics. And it just so happened that they had this diagram showing this particular setup. So that's what we're running with. So this is done now. This is all set up. Theoretically, we should be able to attach our lever, flip the switch, and head outside, I guess, to our MFSUs out there, or go quickly make some glass fiber cable, and then see if we're actually storing energy or something in this massive mess of cables explodes. It's one or the other. Now, the one thing that I did want to do before we get too carried away, since we don't need to access anything other than one of these blocks, and this is all about safety, we're just going to finish encasing as much as we can in the reinforced glass. So now, you'll notice the one block of reinforced stone, because you can't attach a lever to reinforced glass. There we go. So I think we're done. We're ready. If it explodes, well, what are you going to do? Are you working? Are you doing anything? Do I need to put the lever on the block? Is that what you're saying? Oh, it's making noise. See, I didn't need that stone block at all. It's got the little Geiger counter noise going in the background. No idea at all. You can see we've got the heat exchangers and stuff and the fuel. So it's working. It's running. Let's go see what we've got very quickly. Actually, let's do the cable real quick. We'll make that and we'll hook it up to our MFSUs because that way we'll be able to see very easily and quickly if something wants to explode or if everything is just happy. And because glass fiber cable is so damn easy to make, it's not cheap, but it's easy. That was convenient, the 1 extra diamond, the 4 extra diamonds just sitting there waiting to be grabbed and used. And silver. Like so. Down. I guess we should fly. And watch. This will be the thing that explodes now. The MFSU for whatever reason. And we'll come out here and making sure that we don't have anything in our hands. We will right click and see. We've got power. We've got power flowing, and when you consider this is power that's being distributed to 4 different MFSUs, that's not too horrible. Now, according to what I read, it's like 2 hours and something of real time to run the full cycle in the nuclear reactor. So 2 hours at this rate will probably get full, or, you know, substantially beyond half MFSUs. Which is fine by me. Like I say, right now, the primary purpose before and after anything else is having ready access to power for our ME system whenever we decide to get around to setting it up without having to worry about running machines, you know, every hour just to make sure it's got enough juice to keep going. So we're nuclear. We are officially nuclear for the first time since I've played modded Minecraft. And the sky's the limit. Hopefully it's not the sky being us going up into it on the back of a nuclear explosion. So that's all we wanted to do this episode. Get this thing up and running, which we did. I didn't want to do a tutorial because I didn't want to learn enough to do a tutorial. I just wanted to show you. We got it up and running, and we'll monitor it from time to time. And certainly if we do end up with a crater, I will absolutely show you guys so that you can mock and laugh at me to your heart's content. So leave your comments and feedback below. I'll come up with a nifty project for the next episodes. If you want to be notified when I add that episode, you can subscribe to my channel and or follow me on Twitter at Enigmius1. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.